right, so here today we are with Karina Gutierrez with Exfinia Financial on a super important topic that I get asked about all the time, which is mortgage protection insurance. Karina, thank you. Welcome today.
Thank you, Jenny, for the invitation. Thank you.
So Karina and I have known each other for a very long time. We actually, when I was an exchange student in Mexico, I met her 26 years ago. So I super trust this lady, and she's very knowledgeable with what she does, which is create financial plans for people. So Karina, I thought to bring you on today because I get asked so many times when people are getting a mortgage, of course, they're like, hey, I want insurance to protect my family if something happens to me or my spouse, which is called mortgage protection insurance. So I'm here with you today. So tell us what it is and what it isn't.
Yes, and it's very important to get that protections now that that person or that family bought their dream home. You help them with their mortgage and they are already enjoying their house. Well, we need to make sure that that family gets to enjoy that home if something happens in the future. Let's use this very typical example. They have young kids. The wife gets to stay home because she's raising the kids. The husband is the breadwinner.
Okay.
Just picture this scenario. What will happen if something happens with the husband, if he passes or if he gets sick with a long-term illness and he can no longer work? How is this family going to be able to stay in their home, pay their debt? How is she going to be able to produce what he was producing while she paused her career to stay with her children? How is she going to raise them and go to work and perhaps take care of an ill husband?
So there are insurances in place that can not only in case of death, but in case of a long-term illness, and actually for either spouse, because even if let's say there is only one working man or woman, let's say the person in the family that works, something happens to them, or if something happens to the person taking care of the kids or to the other income. So it doesn't matter which spouse something happens to, there's a void that needs to be filled, whether it's pay for extra child care, pay to care for the person that's sick, right?
Yes.
So there's policies that let you take the money early before death that help for some of these expenses.
Yes, exactly. And you bring a very important point. A lot of people think, oh, because I get to stay home, I don't bring any income to the family, I don't need insurance. And that is not true. We all have an economic value. And thanks to that person staying at home, the breadwinner is able to produce whatever he or she is producing.
Yeah.
So if something happens to the person that is staying home, taking care of the children, the breadwinner will have extra expenses that he or she will need to cover. And on top of that, they will have to also cover extra medical expenses. So each of the adults in the family need insurance, life insurance, but not only life insurance that covers them, as you mentioned, in case of death. Also a life insurance policy that has living benefits. What does that exactly mean? It means that they also have protection in case of a chronic, critical, or terminal illness.
Critical illness. Mm-hmm.
Because
that's interesting. So we're talking today again about mortgage protection insurance. So Karina, I'll make sure at the end of this video that your contact information, so any consultations are free of charge, I'm assuming, is that right? So if just walk me through what should I expect if I contact you via phone or email? What's the process like? Is it super painful? Like, do I have to submit a bunch of documents? Like, what's that like?
Not at all. It's a very simple conversation. We can have a video conference or we can have a telephone conversation, and we will just make some simple questions to determine if that person is properly protected, if they have the right amount of insurance. And we will let them know if they are properly protected, and we will be happy to review at no cost to see if their policies have that protection, the living benefits protection in case of a long-term illness, and we will let them know if the policies that they have, they are perfectly fine, or if there's room for optimization. We will let them know, and we will be happy to do a totally free protection analysis for them.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, Karina, I have known you for a lot of years, and you're super trustworthy, and I know that you'll take good care of anyone that comes your way that we've recommended via this video. So thanks again for being on. I really appreciate it. And again, we're talking about mortgage protection insurance. Karina with Exfinia would be glad to point you in that right direction. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jenny. Take care. Thank you for the invitation.
You got it. Bye.
Bye.
Legacy Mutual Mortgage is an equal housing opportunity lender. The opinions expressed here do not reflect those of Legacy Mutual Mortgage.